Afternoon. Howdy doody. Just got this up here. I'm not sure if anyone's still. I know quite a few people. I'm not sure anyone in the trade room's still in it, but it's looking pretty happy at the moment. It's quite a little bit higher than that. We'll discuss a little bit more at a couple of minutes' time at 4, but I don't know if anyone's still in that. No sound. Sorry, I'm just waiting for 4 o'clock. I beg your pardon. I'm replying to WhatsApp. I hope you can hear me all right, guys. That's 4 o'clock now. Sorry, I'm replying to a WhatsApp there. Excuse me. Yeah, great. You can hear me. Fantastic. I think. I hope it's fantastic. Still, I start singing, then you won't. Okay. Yeah. So GBPCH. If I look at that, it's doing pretty damn well. Don't know if anyone in the trade room's still in it. If you're not, doesn't really matter. But if you are, obviously modify. I think this modify maybe 1.1. What about 1.1110, something like that, 20 pips behind market. Protect yourself with a profit, see if we can go further down. It seems to be on its way. So if you're in it, modify, nice one. So let's start off with a nice note after the one we had this morning. So GBPCHF is a winning trend. It's always nice starting a good one, even though it's a couple of days old, you might not be in it anymore. Wherever it is, there we are. Okay, right. A quick check on a couple of things this morning. Not always a good idea to be late on it, but a couple of guys did come a little bit late, and then they put in a lower stop loss. But I hope he's going to do some good because it was going up nicely earlier. Yeah, and then decided to come back down, but it seems to be holding on this level here. And there it came right down and tested that and jumped. Interesting. Maybe no, it's getting away. Doesn't matter. Start thinking aloud on the wrong track. Okay, yeah, and held there quite nicely and jumped. And you can say, well, why didn't we get in there? Well, it was there when we got in. We thought that was going to hold. So anyway, whatever. So that's the story. So some guys got in a bit late and then they had wider stops. They might be in it, but it's a bit of a pity. EURAUD seems to trying to be. EURAUD seems to be trying to recover. At least it's held there, popped down the hell there. Don't know if anyone's still in that. I know quite a lot of guys are still in that. I checked from positions earlier on. It's quite a large amount. And yes, back up at least to sort of break-even area, somewhere around about there. So maybe this will come right, and maybe the late arrival of the other one will come right. Sorry, but anyway, we know this happened, and it wasn't a one. Maybe looking back, it should have been wider. No, it's always easy afterwards to go over what you should and shouldn't have done, but it shouldn't have been a major trade smash, one of those things. Gold, I mentioned, don't get into it. If you're in, hold it, come off a little bit, I'm afraid, but don't get into it. Holds tonight, remember it, about 20 to 9, if I remember right. Let me just check again on my euro, my economic calendar. Yeah, 22.8, beg your pardon, 22.8 is coming on. Don't get cute with gold. Yeah, it could affect it. depending what he comes up with. I can guess what he comes up with, but you never know the reaction, as I mentioned before. So we'll leave that. Jerome Powell, I think you all know, he's the chairman of the Federal Reserve, very important figure. Okay, so yeah, leave that alone, but it's if you're in it, hold on. Okay, anything else we had? AUD-NZD. We got in a sell on that one at 66. It's obviously a little bit higher up, but it seems to be holding that area there. So I don't think I don't like a bit of green starting there. Let's look at the Wiley chart. Seems we can consolidate there. So it looks it could hold. We hope it does. The stop's way above that anyway. So let's hope it comes back. So it might come out all right. Okay, so no, all right, fair enough. Not a great day, but on a complete disaster at the same time. Okay. All right. Okay. Any questions before we move on?
Yes, Roger. Good afternoon. Sorry. So I got knocked out in EUR AUD as well as EUR JPY. That was the two losses. Am I correct?
Yeah, I thought some guys might be still the AUD one. Okay, then you weren't. Okay. All right. Yes, go on. If you're out, you're out. Yeah. Okay.
No, thank you very much.
Well, thank you on that one. I should say very sorry about that. Yeah, but the stocks were fairly tight for a purpose. We're trying to range trade. Remember, we didn't do particularly on anything clever or fundamental or scientific, if you like. Range trade is a bit of a pity that happens. But having said that, I know some guys are still doing that for factors of checks, as I say. So if they are, basically, there's the battle a bit on the JPY one, but a backup on the other one, so we'll see. Okay, we did look at Brent as at 79. It's breaking even there. Some guys jumped in a little bit by chasing it, and some guys, a lot of guys, put in a buy limit in at 79, got taken in. So it's around about breaking even. A couple of pips spread there. So it's probably about breaking even, but it's hovering around there. So see how that goes. Okay, the German 30. I know a couple of guys. I don't know how many took it. The German 30. Right, that's doing pretty well. 15357 entry for those who took it. So that's what, about just over 60, about 60 pips in profit, something like that. Okay, so not so bad. To be honest, if you're still in it, I think it will, yeah. I don't say you should suddenly jump in again. You're probably still smarting for the first time. Sort of get like covered on both cheeks if you do the metaphor. But it looks like that 200 might hold. I wouldn't start chasing that in. But if you are still in and you did what I'd suggest you don't do is modify away, but it might work out all right. I don't know. But if you're still in that, I think a good chance that will hold. If you hadn't been that trade this morning, to be honest, I would have said this is an excellent trading opportunity. I'll be honest with you. Don't be so encouraged to go in again. Well, you can do what's up to you. Excellent trading opportunities. But then again, I thought that was pretty good there as well. It came down a bit of test support. So look what the idea originally was. Why didn't we wait? There's a reason for it. Wasn't that some stuff? I want to make sure everyone knows that. But and this could be another one where you say, well, why do we wait till there it came back? Or why do we wait till there? Why do we wait till it comes back? We don't know. All I do think is I think that's going to hold for about what we shall see. Okay. That's my opinion. If anyone hasn't entered it and wants to look at the entry there, they can. Wants to be knocked out of it, I'm not sure they'd be too keen to go in again. And the Euro AUD, I think leave that at the moment. If you're in it, hold. I wouldn't join that again. The only one I might consider joining again is this one, but I'm just going to throw it out. It's up to you. Okay. If you do, get a stop down here somewhere. Maybe it's 70. Decent stop. That's too close. 70, 30 odd pips. No. Make it down here. That's too good. Where are we talking about? So 140. Well, that's 100 pips. I beg your pardon. Maybe down here somewhere. Maybe down about that sort of level, 140, 50, something like that, if you do. Okay, I'd take the same TP if you wanted to juice it. Whatever, up to you if you want to do it again. You know the score. If you do want to do it again or you're not sure of the score, just let me know. We'll go through it. Okay, German 30 is doing fine. Brent's just slightly about even Stevens. And then AUD NZD is slightly worse off, not much in it, fairly quiet. Okay, right. The other one I think should have been sent out to you. I was told it was. was Charles Schwab. Okay, that's a stockbroker, or a bit more of a stockbroker, massive by doing that. Not quite Goldman Sachs, but still a big boy. But yeah, so we thought that might get some pullback. Be a little bit wary again. I like it still, and it's not a tech stock, so I'm not sure we'll get the major swings the tech stock will get. And it's a little bit quicker than some non-tech stocks as well. Just hope Powell doesn't screw the party up if you do take it. Clearly you can't at the moment, which will be open in about 20 minutes. Depending what it opens at. You know, clearly if it opens down here somewhere, well, you missed it. If it opens a bit high and you want to take it, you get a better trend. Just remember that. The price you see in the signal or better. The worst, you got to chase it. You if you want to chase it. Yeah, well, I've been pretty bit iffy, as it turned out today, been a bit iffy, but I'm not going to rule that out. Might be better tomorrow. Always say Zeph, like golf, you know, get a birdie the last hole, doesn't say you get a birdie the next, you get a bogey the last hole, and say you get a bogey the next. We sure can. I'll be a little bit careful of that, Marshall. That's pronounced properly. I'll tell you why. Is because we've got Powell coming up in 20 to 8. That's 1940, right? That's 3.5 hours time. You know what I'm saying, Zeph? 3.5 hours time. Dollar could do some funny things. I mean, you know, it could weaken strength. He could jump around depending what his Q&A situation is like when he's speaking. I mean, it's not doing interest rate announcements. That's already been done. It's just speaking, giving his thoughts on where the economy is going after the non-farms, and then a few guys will be asking a few questions. What's his take on it? And you will get some movement on that. The markets will move on that. Yeah, a lot of people are watching it on Bloomberg or wherever. They have it televised, and yeah, so you might get a bit of movement. So, like Zeph went in on this one, he did pretty well despite that. He worked out well. The non-farms actually did him a big favor, but it could have done the opposite. He took that risk. The non-farms have been very different. You could have seen that go shooting up, the dollar weakening. So it's up to you whether you want to take that or not. But I'm suggesting it's a possibility of a sell. I'm assuming you're looking at it as a sell, but I'd be a little bit nervous. Yeah, well, I've still not. They said no. The right is very, very small. Deposit is the right answer, and it seems to be that the contract size is 1 instead of 10. So it's like going for a nano instead of a micro. Just bear that in mind. So if you're going for if the margin's tiny, it means your position size is going to be even smaller. So it looks like then you can look at if you like the thing is, if you like the NASDAQ, if you've got small funds, you could do it on the micro, because I was under the assumption when I was told about it, nobody told me it's not going to be a contract 10, it looked like a contract of 1. So exactly, so you know what I mean? So instead of being a 50-odd deposit on a 500 one leverage, we don't have it on 100 to 1, only 500 leverage. It's basically $5. So, but remember, it doesn't mean to say your gearing's gone up to 5,000 or 2,000. It just means the contract size is smaller. Okay, it's basically like a nano account, even though it's called a micro. Okay. Okay, probably better. I would say so. Yeah. Are you with me on that? It's just a smaller contract. You can have a contract of 100 bushels, whatever, or you can have a 10 or 1,000 smaller contract. Well, as a result, so 1.0 on a zero contract is a small position. If the contract's 100, that's a different ballgame. So that's what I mean by that. I hope you understand what I mean by the maths. And you can always check the contract to make sure by right-clicking on this and go to specification, and it gives you the contract size. And in forex, 100,000, oil it's 100, silver it's 500, and gas it's 1,000. 10 on the NAS at the moment, excluding the micro, the Dow, the S&P, and all the indices, including the German or whatever, and gold. Okay, so you got a fair idea of that. Just check on the contract size, and you can work it out. Got to know that. It's very important. We've got this concept. I mean, you can't buy one house. Let's say you can buy a parcel of houses that come in a contract size of 10. But you can take a mini contract and buy one house, or a micro contract, I suppose, and buy a tenth of a house, like time sharing one of the houses in the contract. I'm trying to explain so you get it, but you have to get it. If someone else gives you a better explanation, Google it. You've got to know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, your volume's going to be completely up to maggots. For instance, you might have a couple of brokers using this one, another one, and you go into gold. The other gold one is 100 contract on that one and 10 on here. So 0.1 is a very different ball game on that. So here it's 10 times the size of the contract. So your position therefore is 10 times higher. If you think you're risking 200, no, you're risking 2,000. So you've got to know the contract size. Okay. I think most of these important things I don't see the explain. I don't know why in the education process. I know this is important. No good knowing what the hell the bloody MACD is if your contract size is your 1,000%, 10 times overexposed. Okay, we'll just come back to Schwab. I mean, I don't think Schwab is going to be quite as affected positively as the dollar itself. So you can have a look at it if you like, but just bear that in mind. Okay. So if you want to do the Schwab one, you should have been sent it. No point in putting the figures up if you haven't been sent it. Have you all received it? If not, I don't know why you haven't, but I can still put the figures up for you if you're interested. Yeah, Fiona, your fines are mounting. You used to be 1 month trading in gas. Now you're going to trade in gas for 2 months. You're in big trouble here, Fiona. Oh, by the way, I was obviously kidding there. On a serious part, I think you were on platform trading with somebody last night. I heard you were quite happy with it anyway, so that's good to know. Remember, guys, you've got to have operate the platform if you come into the trading room. No point coming to the trading room if you can't place a trade. It's about trading. I can't place a trade. It's like, I don't know, guy going to a pop concert when you're deaf. It's not much point. Yeah, good stuff here. So yeah. CFD card give no values. Yes, he does. I'll just copy and paste. Give me a second. It should do anyway. It should have been sent out. I'm going to copy and paste it. Here we are. Let's get this thing out of the way. I don't know why I'm people asking about that. There's no point me putting out signals. I don't post them to you guys. That's it there. So because people don't understand the difference in Forex and shares, they're putting 0.01 in. You can't put in less than 1 to try and stop people by mistake putting 0.01, which is completely wasting everyone's time, including their own. So it's you can do 1.5 if you must, but literally, if you're going 1 share, you're risking 40 rand. So why would you go 0.01, which is 40 cents? You know, it's ridiculous. So 1 is 40 rand. So just look at those values there. I know you know what it is, Anne-Marie. I'm talking about some newer guys. It takes a switch over. Not blaming anybody. It's like driving on the left and going to Spain and suddenly you have to drive on the right. It takes a bit of a change of mindset. But remember, 1, that's enormous. Yes, it is on Forex, but it's careful. Give that English expression on shares. So there you are. So if you buy 15.0, you're risking just under 600 rand. Anyway, you got the figures there. You want to do it. Please don't say, oh, I can't place a trade. I'll say again, you won't. It's $4. It is not open as yet. You should all know that now in the trading room because you're keen as mustard. You take the trouble to cover it. Okay. Right. So there we are. There's that trade if you like. Okay. Any questions? Anything on that? What's the time now? Yeah, another 10 minutes before opening. What is the NAS doing? I'm checking for a little bit. Actually, forgot about it on NAS. Yeah, hovering.
May I say something?
Of course you can. Absolutely you can.
I've got the CFD calculator in front of me, and I've got 15 shares.
Yeah.
And the entry and take profit stop loss is entered. It gives me a profit of 67 rand 50 or dollars. Sorry, I'm still in dollars. And take profit of 67 and 62 is risk, I think. I even tried it with 50, and it gave me a calculation of would cost me 3,530 rand, and the reward would be 4,138. We don't,
I
We
can't
don't-
see it in front of me. It makes no sense. Remember, the risk on the calculator is in dollars. You're going to multiply it by
yes, we
17.5.
did. We
Okay,
did.
okay, but that shouldn't occur because you don't. I'll tell you why. Never mind the calculator. Just look at the price there. The stop loss, the entry is, where is it now? Sell at $80. Okay, the
Yes,
stop
yes.
loss is at 81.90. So that's $1.90. I call
Yeah.
it $2. That's $2 risk per one share, right? And the TP is $4.50 away. Take 75 feet to an 80. So one share is immediately $4.50. So you put in 50 shares, it'll be $225 be a risk. Multiply that up, of course, into rands.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here, but this is what I get on my calculator.
Have you got a minute? I'll just try and check mine. Mine's always working, but I'll try. Just give me a second where to stop the share. We've got a couple of minutes to do that. So let's stop the share a second. Let's see now. I'm going to minimize this now. Minimize. That's right. Just move it across here. Let me move this across. No, minimize that bloody thing. View. Speaker. Exit full screen. Ah, that's better. Yeah, we're using this now. All right, just give me a second. Where is it now? CFD calculator. That's why I give it a few moments to bring it in. Right, I think that's okay for the moment. Let's just see what we've got on here. Okay, right, so let me share the screen. You should be able to see that. Hang on. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Great stuff. Okay, right. Right. So, what was the quantities one? Entry price 80 or 80. Sorry,
Yes, we did.
now we're going short, so that's the wrong way around. That's better. Take profit 81 point. No, that's SL. You've got 81.9. TP 75.50. 75.5. Why is it going back to long? It's short. I put it the wrong way around this one. Sorry. Always put, see, the TP is the wrong way around. I always put the SL in first. God. 75.50, 5.5, and 81.9. Don't know why they put the TP first. Everyone else in the world doesn't. So that's for one share. Got it? Happy? There's your 2 to 1 and blah, blah, blah. You said 50. This won't work. So I'm going to put this up to 40,000. Now make it 50. That'll do. Now you put in 50, as you did there. That means your deposit is $200 at 5%. That should be in dollars. Yep, that's correct. And your risk on this one is $111. And your take profit is 209. It's not quite 2 to 1 in my opinion, but we'll have to do. You with me? So that's what I've got in mind. So are you putting those figures in?
If you work it through, if you work it to rands, it works out as 3,550.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about the rands. I'm worried about you being able to get working your calculator properly. Whether it's in rands, yen, it doesn't matter. This is it works.
Yeah. No, I've got exactly the same. I've got exactly the same as you have.
Okay, fine. So there you are then. If you've got to multiply it by 17. If you go into this one, your risk is 17, that figure, which is about 1,800, about 17 times, what was it? About 1,800 rands, something like that. Yeah, about 1,800 bucks. And here it's about 3,500 rand particular profit. And that $200 deposit, what's that? That's about 3,500 rand margin. There you are. Just have to multiply by the exchange rate. It's all in dollars.
Yeah. It's hardly worth the risk.
I'm sorry, I'm not right with you. What's not worth the risk?
the profit is very small. The risk is low, is 3,500. And
No, no, it's 2 to 1. You can't say one is relative to the other. If that was 10, that'd be 20. If that was 100, it'd be 200. You're risking $100 to make $200 if it hits a TP. Are you with me on the maths? Because a lot of people are battling on the maths side, maybe because I see maths. So no, I'm not sure we're getting the maths on this. It's the ratio. It's the ratio between the two.
Okay, yeah, sorry, we took those amounts and times 17 Rand 65.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's 2 to 1. Doesn't matter what the currency is irrelevant, it's the figures. Whereas $100, £100, €100, you multiply the exchange rate clearly. And if you risk 1,800 Rand to make 3,500, that's fair enough. If it gets to TP, clearly. If you don't want to risk that much, well, you put a smaller size in there.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing for.
Thank you for all your trouble, Roger.
No, I'm on the same page because this is important. This is important. If you battle to get the volumes right, you can't trade. You can't operate the platform. Clearly, you can't trade. You've got to get those volumes right. If you don't get the volumes and understanding right, you can't trade. Because it's like going budgeting. It's like going shopping without looking at your budget. You wonder why when you get home you get into trouble because you overspent.
I think something went wrong because we had to reload the calculator every 2 times because it just wouldn't give us any values. But thank you very much. Thanks to everybody.
I thought that would have been the problem more like. It's clear the math is pretty straightforward. Just put in the missing figures, bang the bloody button, and you're in business. I thought that might be the issue of the problem. I've had a couple of problems as well, where I couldn't change it from short to long or vice versa, or I put some figure and it jumped around. Just remember, which takes a bit of getting used to, like driving the right or the left. Some reason to put the TP first on there and the SL. And I'm so habitual putting SL then TP. It's like driving the left, like I say. What the hell's wrong now? Of course, it's the TP and then the SL, like the signal. To me, personally, this is my opinion, it's back to front. Then again, the Americans think we drive on the wrong side of the road. We think they drive on the wrong side of the road. Just what you're used to, I suppose. But anyway, at least it's cleared up. That's the most important. Oh, thank you. Sorry, I had the chat, the live chat minimized on chatting there. Okay, yeah, it frustrates the hell out of me. It's just have to accept that because each time I put the calculator like that, it comes up gobbledygook. And I wonder why they don't now put in the TP in the SL area or whatever. Okay, but and it's habits, you know, with muscle memory. So it's quite difficult to actually adjust your mind to it. It's not intellectually difficult, it's just change the sodding habit. I'm going to give the economic calendar again to guys, just in case we don't have it in the meantime, while we're waiting for opening. And the dollar index as well, for those who don't have it. It takes 2 seconds, even if you haven't got it in mind. Just try and make a habit of doing it, because some guys don't have it. The last thing I want is because I forgot to put it on, which takes less than a minute. You jump in just before some major fundamental comes out. You might get lucky, but you might not. I don't bother with it, to be honest. I just take one for the other and I'm in business. I don't even use the bloody thing. That's just practice, makes them used to it. And that's so difficult as well. I mean, I take Mark, for instance, and he's doing IT for a long time. And he gets some just starting, you can't see why they don't see it. But he's been doing it every bloody day. You know what I mean? Like the instructor comes in and says, what are you storing the car for? I mean, no, because he's changing gear every day of his life. The same with here. You sometimes forget. No, you've been doing it the last 70 years, every single solid day. Some guys are used to it, so you have to bring back on that. It's not difficult, it's just getting into a habit. Like one person today said they couldn't put the trade in because he tried to go in with the original stop loss on the Euro JPY. There's only 2 pips above the stop. Just going to save the signal without looking. The entry price on the signal is quite different. Of course, he couldn't put it in because you can't put a stop 2 pips away. The system won't allow it. Because I know you do you the big favor there, because this immediately gets sorted out of the noise, you know, unless you're the luckiest person on the planet. So always look at the entry. If any doubts, because it could be a buy stop on purpose, then in theory it should say pending order to buy stop. But if it says, let's say, buy the Nasdaq at 12.45, and we're buying it, and the price when you see the signal has to be at 12,000, you don't put a buy stop in. Why would you? You put in a market entry, because your SL would be 200 pips away. Now it's only 150 pips away, so you're saving a couple of bucks there. In fact, your risk will be slightly smaller. In other words, instead of risking a couple hundred rand, you're risking only 150. It's a better price. Just remember that. If any doubts, you're not sure, you've got my WhatsApp number, just send out a WhatsApp and say, do I go to market list? Absolutely. And you might even be able to fiddle the stop a bit wider as well if you're getting a better price. Yeah. Just bear that in mind. I hope that's all clear. I've got a minute. Yeah, just a quick minute before we go over the NAS. We've put it down. Roger. I get quite busy, so please at least 500 in your account. If you've got 2.5, I'll just tell me and I'll upload you. Was 061-529-3431 to the VIP fund. Okay, there you are. But don't, if you've got 50 rand, and please don't say, hi, this is George. I don't know who George is. You've got to give your details. Full. I don't say, please give me details. What do you mean by that? Because I'm not sure. Okay, you've got to know that. Anyway, Nasdaq. Before I get carried away. I haven't. Look at it quickly. GBP AUD. Sorry, that's my alarm. Not sure. I can probably get a better price. I think might have a chance, but not now. We'll come look at this now after NAS. Yeah, I'll have a quick look at it again. First impression, I think, not too sure, but we'll give more depth just now. Okay, just have to wait for us, I'm afraid, Mark. Tell the market to stop, because very important people, as in you and I, are waiting and looking at the NAS. So tell the market to stop and wait for us. It'd be nice to do that, eh? Okay, anyway, NAS, right, let's see what's happening there. Not a lot by the look of it. Why is that, do you think? Why is it a slow opening? Well, I'll tell you, because I'm pretty sure you know anyway, because Powell's speaking a couple of so hours time. So it's going to be probably a little bit on the slow side. Normally is. Most people get very nervous when the chairman of the Fed starts speaking, because he's nothing wrong with him. Most people respect him highly, including myself. It's just the bloody press who ask him awkward questions to get good copy without caring whether it affects the world markets or not. I have a lot of time for the mainstream media, as you probably gather. I think they're completely misusing their power. We're going to be responsible. Anyway, it's another story. Right, so just see it jumping around, it's not happening, so we can move on at Schwab. See if you want to take it. Bloody hell, looks like you might have missed it. Is it open? Yes, it's open. Why is it there? Looks like yeah. We want to get it at 80. I'm not sure I'll be chasing you there. See what happens. Because I think your risk reward will be a little up to maggots. What's it about? 80. What's it down to here? 79 if you get in. It's only going to be 350, and it will be $3 will be your risk. Yeah, $3 per share your risk. $3.50 potential profit to TP. Clear that's obviously not going to be 1.8 or 1.7 or something. It's practically 1 to 1 or just over. So rather see if we get 80. Don't try and chase it now. You have the ability to come to trade, you learn that. Fortunately, a lot of guys won't see that, they'll jump in without thinking about the risk reward. And there's some who complain, saying, look, we got stopped out and you said you're risking 200 and I lost 300. Well, you didn't enter at the signal price, so obviously it puts the maths out of kilter. But anyway. Yeah, a lot of people be doing that, Mark. But this will be affected, but nothing like the dollar, nothing like gold, nothing like textiles, or whatever. But it will be affected, but not to the same extent. So I thought we'll still have a look at it. But that being made, it's all academic anyway, because you haven't got an entry price alone. Okay. So there we are. And we'll have a quick check of the others now we've got there. I'll do GBP-AUD check. Good idea. GBP-AUD, that was the one, wasn't it? Yeah, just crunching a bit on the daily. Not really it's not had a consistent breakthrough. It tried to and broke back up again. Indecision Monday to Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah. A decision yesterday. You're a braver man than me. You'll have to ask the death's opinion on that. He's the brave one in this town. He's a serious Rambo trader. But if you got down, make you put your stop. It's 16 hours old, so you put it above today's range and don't get a risk report. So you're going to look at a 4-hour. I'm just going to mute you all. If you use the 4-hour, I can maybe squeeze it. Where's that now? Maybe 70. You could just about squeeze it on the 4-hour. I'm not so keen. I personally think right now I'm not going to do that. 68869. Right about these levels here. That's so you're taking it down there, which is about 460 pips. And a stop loss 76.40. That's about a 290 pip stop loss. So you're talking here in the region about, that's about $500 a micro is your risk. Plus mine, not exactly off the top of my head. About 500 grand a micro for a longer term trade. If you want to do that, fair enough. Looks like the downside seems to be the name of the game. But for shorter term guys, no. And if you're getting 500, you're looking really about a 10 grand. 5 to 600 is where you're looking for a 10 grand account. So if you haven't got a 10 grand account, you've got 5 grand or 4 grand. You can't do it with those figures. You can, but strongly suggest you don't. Yeah, there you are, Zeph. Yeah. Yeah, I could get down there by September. So we're actually maybe a 4-month trade. Up to you. Mark's a very wealthy person. He's been sitting there with that trade for a long, long time. No comment. I'm afraid to say no, it's one running on the HCOM. But yeah. Yeah, there you are. 4 months away. No, 5 months away. Yeah, so no, leave it alone. Okay. You can do it if you got the money, you got the time, you got the patience, let it run for the next few months. Yeah, go for it. A lot of people have long-term ones. This is beauty, have a lot of money. People with big accounts will have some running for several months, not worry about slot fees, because the capital gain far, far, far away outweighs that. Do some very short-term, medium, you know, all sorts of diversification in their portfolios. But if you haven't got the funds, you can't. That's the major trouble having small funds is it's so limited in your trading, and you have to have all your eggs in one basket because you haven't got the funds to diversify, and you by definition have to overexpose. Otherwise, you'll never be able to trade. And the trouble is, again, the guy with less money, which is the most important thing, not just a lack of money, is a lack of understanding. That's the more important thing. Don't get that. So, you know, it's just going to be against them. You know what I mean? Not worry about having the money. Don't have the knowledge or understanding. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you're doing a mini, then you're doing your risk is going to be in the region of 5 grand. And then the margin don't chewing it up. You might even be able, that's another point. You might be able to handle the risk, but you don't have the funds in the account for the margin. If you did, you won't be able to trade because all your money is on that particular one, on the margin. I know you get the margin back, it's just to get it back, but it means it's all on the market in that one instrument. So you've got nothing else to diversify into. Always remember, you've got to keep free margin. The money you can afford to take £1,000 risk. If you haven't got the account for the margin to get that kind of risk, you can't do it. You've got to add funds again. Sorry to say. But I hope you get to understand, guys, the maths, what you're going about the maths. It's not me trying to hard sell, it's just trying to get you to understand that sort of thing and the limitations. Because mainly the people with small accounts, many from irrational fear rather than think of the math side of it. Yeah, well, it hasn't been too bad. GBP CHF has only been 3 or 4 days, not 3 or 4 months. No, that's all right. Okay, so we'll leave that. Okay, let's go back to NAS then. What's gold doing? Not much, no surprise there. Popped up a bit. Let's see if the Schwab Futurity comes about. No, you can't do it. It's not got stuck, is it? No, it's just slow trading. No, it's not. Always have the time up. We'll look at it there. So it's clearly open. That's not. It's not stuck. It's just not many people are trading at the moment. It's very quiet on the grid. Don't forget when I say trading, remember it's going to be a buyer and a seller. Somebody asked me why I'm waiting in the queue for. Well, for some reason, maybe there weren't any particular buyers or sellers at the price you wanted. So you've got to wait till our buyers and sellers. I'll give you an example, which really happened actually on small accounts, competitive volumes, liquidity there. But I mean, you know, you might say, I want to buy, I don't know, 500,000 Google shares. Well, it's all early, you want to buy them, but is it 500,000 Google shares up for sale at that point? There might be only 100,000 or 200,000. Now, you wouldn't be able to do that on this platform because it's all fill or kill. That's what waiting around with a bit slow moving. I'm just going to see, you know, what we mean by that. Doesn't really matter, I'll use anything. Use this way if you like. It's all the same. Go on to this one here and you go down to fill or kill. That means the entire position's taken or nothing. Now, that would be changed on a lot of brokers that have very, very big client accounts. You know, we're talking hundreds of millions upwards. They would have to have a fill or kill. Because you have guys, individual accounts that you bigger than the entire book of Quick Trade. Big players, you know what I mean? And they want to maybe buy 30,000 or 20,000 Google. Well, you can't, there's 20,000. So they're putting the order and maybe 5,000 be filled and then the price will move a bit and then another 5,000. So get in, let's pretend it's Charles Schwab. And they want to get 20,000 of this one. They get 5,000 this one. Unfortunately, because they're buying it, push the price up. So get another 5,079.50, another 5,080, or the other way around, selling short until eventually the whole amount's in the market. We can't do on this account, it's all fill or kill. In other words, you're not in or you are in, no half measures. So if you wonder what that meant, now you know. I'll just throw that into the mix. All good, grist to the mill, they say, hey. Check the 1 minute chart, okay. For Keno, okay, Eugene. On Schwab. Yeah, it's all go, isn't it? Yeah, well, it might be a train good, but not much happening on this one. The market maker means it makes the market. You sometimes get price differentials if you look on different brokers, different markets, etc. It's not really a sweat because if let's say on Joe Soap Incorporated it's 79.50, you go to 79 and you're going short, you make 50 cents. This one would be 79.12 and it would move down accordingly by 50 cents. Just the figures different, but the ratio is the same. So I won't worry about that. Oh, thanks very much, Pete. You're fired. I don't want bad news. I'm a dictator. And I have people shot at dawn for giving me news I don't want to listen to, don't want to hear. What are you getting on, Microsoft? Oh, you're right, that's quite a bit different. Okay. 65, so we're still okay. Well, not nice, but at least it's within the stop. And this is just open now. Remember 10 minutes ago, there seemed to be a few sellers coming in. So maybe it's just a jump up for hopefully move down. Keep your fingers crossed. So let's check them quickly. Apple 52, just it's gone up slightly. One of those days we'll get. What's Google doing? I'll talk about Google. 103.47. That's slightly in profit. We'll see what happens there. We just check Microsoft. Let's not go back there for a moment. NKE 123. We got it 124.50. Slightly in profit. At least it's better than nothing, eh? Oracle 89.10. Ah, that's a little bit better, hey? That's just under $2 a share in profit. So there you are, Pete. You gave me the Microsoft news. I gave you three through things and arrows of outrageous fortune, and the number of 3 back at you. What about that? To misquote the bard. I personally do, if you're not worried about Powell. If you're worried about Powell, if you're not worried about Powell, yeah, I do. Yeah. If Powell screws it up, don't blame me. But otherwise, yes, I do. You're getting a far better price. Absolutely, I do. You can even do a slightly wider stop if you like. Because we've got the stop in at 265.50. You can make it a little bit higher up, maybe make it 266.50. There you are. $4 stop. So what the $4 stop means, it's $4 a share as your risk. That's about 70 rands. It's 70 rand in rands, okay, Mike? That's 70 rand a share. Do you want to risk 70 bucks? Sell 1 share. Okay. Happy, Mike? Got that? Please don't do a micro, you're wasting your time. At least 1.0 at 70 bucks. Okay, you've got the SL and TP. I'll give it out again. We got it down at where is it? 65.50. Make it 266.50 and stick with 243 as a TP. Okay. And I say it's 70 bucks for 1.0. The 1.5 returns you on, but you get the idea. But no 0.01s. Got a few guys still doing that. So we're trying to default it so you can't. It's not their fault. They just didn't realize it's a different contract size. Well, it is their fault. It didn't come from trading wrong. You come from trading wrong, it is their fault. How's that? Okay, stop me waffling on. Anything else to chat about? Anything else you'd like to have a look at? Is the NAS still hovering? Yes, still hovering. Anything else? Gold jumped up a little bit, not much. DXY still gone up a little bit, actually, with that forbearance, what might happen. Let's look at the dollar. This one against the dollar. No, we shouldn't be. We just want to check on something. No. This is a possibility of a short, but it might go long, so leave that. Yep, it's coming off a bit as expected, but that could all be reversed. So that was just more out of interest. Don't touch it. Is anything happening on the Brent? It came back to take us in. Went up beautifully, came back to take us in. Now it's down a few cents. We'll see what happens there. Fortunately, a stronger dollar tends to actually weaken oil a little bit. Because remember, most of the world aren't on US dollars, but oil is priced worldwide in dollars. So if you're in yen or in rands or in pesos or whatever, you're having to pay more by a strengthening dollar because it's $81, which is not 81 yen. You get my point. So just bear that in mind. But anyway, okay, right. Any questions on them? Any questions? Anything? You've got the economic calendar. You've got the position size calculator. If anyone hasn't got it, please, I beg if you get it. Not for shares, but for everything else but shares. Go to like chat and then request it from technical support. You've all know how to save your charge. Go over the normal thing I try and explain. Some people forgot to do it. Go to templates, save the template. Don't forget. And then put your name in clearly and then save it. So when you do have a problem, you go back to templates and you go and click on there and your charts are back up and running. If you want to add an indicator and you want to keep it for another time, go there. You can even do that and chop and change it around if you want. Not adding it, it's all rubbish. If you want to change the layout of your charts, you can just right click on properties. And if you like it, there's the example, you okay it, that's done. And then you can add an indicator or something else if you want. And then you can put and then save it. So you'll have one save with a MACD, one save with all 3 of these, one save with no 100. You get the idea. One save with a 20 and a 15 or whatever it is. So that's also important if you understand that. Okay, Mark, you've got stuff to do. I understand that. Okay, all clear on that. Oh, Bubba is the other one. Bubba, I think, didn't anyone know no one took Bubba? Or did they? No, I've got it written down. No, Okay, so there it is. Hope you all know how to save your charts and play around that way. Position size calculator, all the normal stuff I've covered. Right, right over to you guys. A bit quiet going in. I don't expect much movement. It doesn't look, so not much you can do about it. It's not his fault, but when he does speak, it does sort of slow the things down because everyone's a little bit nervous what might happen, understandably. You think we might have a CPI next week? We do on the US. I'll check it out. I can't remember if we have it or not. Maybe we can look at making a plan to do a straddle trade like you did on the previous CPI and on the jobs report, and get it right this time. So we might make a couple of bucks on that one. He's speaking now, is he? Oh, he's a member. Sorry, he's not the chairman. Bailey's chairman, a member. Okay. I don't know how important that is because I haven't got it written down. So fair enough. Not too worried about that at the moment. No, it could be either. There's no such thing on that. Whether it's bullish or bearish, it could be either, depending on how the market takes it. It's not like saying going to be an interest or a PPI or a CPI coming out. The chit chat depends what the guy says, how it will affect the markets, but mainly the pound. Don't have a massive effect elsewhere. That a little bit, but mainly on the pound. Remember, he's not the Bank of England chairman, he's the MPC. Good question, MK. Christiane, a lady, Lagarde, she's the president of the European Central Bank. Okay, worth remembering. Governor Bailey to a lesser extent, but he's, yeah, Governor Bailey of the Bank of England, but number one by far is this Powell, then Lagarde. Remember, those are two biggest economic zones on the planet. The biggest is the Euro, and then the second biggest is America, and then China, Japan, going down to Germany. Okay, so that's why if you have obviously the American boss talking and the European boss all on the same day, fun and games. Proper news, not misinformation, Seth. The trouble is most people are getting misnews. What did one guy says? If you don't keep up the news, you're uninformed. If you do keep up the news, you're misinformed. Choose the cynicism, but yeah, you really got to wade through the BS to get to what's going on. The clickbait, as I call it. Got it. Okay. Good stuff. But don't forget, and Kaz was mentioning earlier on, if you missed a trade, you were busy or whatever, I think you're running a business by the look at it, I'm getting the impression. You do see it, and let's say buy Brent at 81.70 and it figures like 81 or a bit better, you'd want to take it at market, not put a buy stop it, because you're getting a better price. If I'm right, you're in business, and I'm offering you need something to do your business, a product to make it work. And I want 10, you're not going to say no, and I'm going to give you 11 rand, are you? No, yourself, boy, at 10 rand, I'm happy with that. It's just a better price. So I hope you understand that. Okay, so no problems. It's not going to be that much happening going on anyway. It's trying to give value to newer guys who want to ask questions, etc. But I'm very surprised to get any more trades out with Powell looming above us there. Is it? Okay, I'd leave it alone, but some people are already in it. Then it might come right. Not bullish, it's moved a little bit. It's hardly bullish. No, it's moved. Yeah, don't get excited, it's moved 14 cents. There you are. Now you took the trade, because when I WhatsApped you earlier on, there's a far better price than your JPY. It's about 20. It's a JPY, what's it doing at the moment? I'll show what I mean. Because you didn't see it, you jumped in a little bit higher up. Yeah, it's come off a bit. I think that's going to hold. I hope it does anyway, the round figure. But yeah, jumped a bit late. So just if you're not sure, just WhatsApp me. Okay, and say, should I go in at market or whatever? I still think the trade is good. I'm still sticking with it. If you're in, if you're out, you're out. Just remember, you're not going to win every trade. Sun ain't going to rise in the west, and you're not going to win every trade. And that's the toughest thing. Quickly discipline yourself to accept that with correct position sizing, the better, because I do, there's a large amount of clients who just get close to mine, put more money in, they can't take the loss, they're too far down, it's got to come right until they've got big problems, because it does. I mean, guys got in 2-3 years ago when the gold was about 2,000, and just as it came off, they kept putting more money in to just prop up their margin, till in the end they lost everybody. That's not the way to go. Nothing wrong with a Lamborghini, but if you drive drunk in a built-up zone 180 and you kill yourself in the crash, ain't the Lambo's fault. Respect the markets, they respect you, as they say. Okay, that's fine. It should be. I think it was at 70 because you went a bit later. It should have stop at 140.70. I think there's a good chance that 141 holding. Let's keep your fingers crossed. Okay, Anne-Marie. Yeah, it's going to be quite quiet. So don't think there's any really big ones going to miss. So let's go over a few things with guys who are not sure of. Hope to add a little bit of value. Just pound speaking. Just remember, that's one of those things you go after the economic calendar just to make sure. Just bear that in. Don't forget, I'm not doing an afternoon session tomorrow. I'm only doing a morning. So I'm doing tomorrow morning and Friday morning. Okay, just so you know that. I'll post on the group tomorrow morning, but just say I'm sort of saying anyway. Okay. Okay, are you good, Fiona, Georgina, Gladys? Are you good? Any questions? And you're not sure about? If I can obviously manage it here, I will. If it's too detailed, you'll have to go back to a class. It's still coming off. We're looking at it now. Oh, AUDJ. Sorry. Beg your pardon. Yeah, I also think that's a buy myself, but anyway, it's up to you. If you're a bit scared of the Japanese, you might want to give it a miss. Stop down here, TP up there. Probably squeeze it, or even there. Maybe here. But I see a buy on that one, yeah. You're good, Fiona, good stuff. I see a buy on this one. Let's try the weekly. Any problems there? Not really. Any 4-hour problems? Hey, 4 hours, a bit of support there. What do I tell you? Any buyers coming in? Not much happening. Pretty quiet. I still see a trade there, actually. I do, actually. Let's have a look. No, you won't get it. You'll have to take it to here. What's that to say there? 92.60. Maybe put the stop up a little bit. Where's the stop loss? Make it 90.15. That should do it. Still below the previous low. Hasn't been there since 20th of January, I think it is. Somewhere around about that level. So what's about 2 weeks just over. I have to say I quite like this. Well brought out. I think. Well, I hope it's well brought out. It works out, and it's round around figure of 91. It's a good chance of holding. So it's got support at 91 on the blue line and on the 4-hour. I think that's pretty good. You could do finally, no problem there. Absolutely no problem there. Don't go to market. Just don't go to market. Your risk reward is completely up to maggots. Yeah, yeah. Tell you what, it's up to you, Fanny. If you're still awake, 20 to 8, that's why you shouldn't be. Maybe by 7:30. If your order's not filled, maybe delete it, just in case Powell screws the system up. Just an idea. You're highly fed up, you do delete it and it flies off, then you get fed up. But anyway, just mention it's your choice. But yeah, don't go to market. Okay, I have to say I like this trade. Who likes it? Okay, a couple people like it. Good stuff. Well spotted, Super CISO. Just remember to put your name down. Good stuff. Excuse my pronunciation sometimes, but we'd all like to change it now. Okay, so there we are. I've got it written down because several people like it, so we'll see how that goes. Well spotted. If that comes right, we'll give you a virtual clap. Thanks, guys. Brent's starting to come right. Thank goodness for that. Brent's starting to come right. Good one, MK. You can see I work it out. It's 121 a micro, so you should be looking in the region of about 3 micros, 0.03 volume. I'm not trying to give too much of your private finance situation away, I'm just saying. You must be able to do the maths on that. Yeah, I mean, Brent's about breaking even, was down a bit before, that's okay. All right, you all got that? Can I knock it off? Is it? Hey, there we are. There we are. Just come to entry. There we are. So if you want to join it there. Do I like the trade cleared? I wouldn't have suggested otherwise. I do like it, yeah. I thought it might do, Mike. I thought it might do. The dollar's still rising on the DXY despite Powell. Let's have a look. Works out 5. What was the risk on Schwab? What was it? $2. She took 5. It's $2 a share, US $10, 170. I think you should have taken 10 shares personally, but if you took 5. If you took 5, person in that account should have taken 10, in my opinion. I think Schmidt was the right person to talk to. She put it privately. I won't mention your name, but I think it was you. Yeah, I think you do 10 on your account. I think 5 is a bit underexposed. So if you already got 5, just go and do another sell of another 5. No, a lot of people say, oh, I've only put that in what I do now. And I said, no, you got 2, you should have done, let's say 10. You know what they do? They're going to delete the 2. Why would you do that? You leave 2 in, you know 2 from 10 is 8, so you put another order in for 8. So if you already got 5, put another order for 5. Hope that's all clear. Okay. Without doubt, in my opinion, it's not understanding the basic maths behind it that's causing the biggest problem for people, and that's easily solved. And I think a lot of it is because I think it's more confusing than it actually is. You can't believe it's that uncomplicated, so they complicate it more in their mind. Yeah, go with the same entry, go to market, absolutely. Okay, fine. So if you want to take it, there we are. So we're getting up there, that's fine. Go to market, 80 or better. It's 2 cents better. So okay, there you go. Right, Microsoft, yes, come off a little bit. Where do we get in a Microsoft? It's 56 of you was, yeah, 56.50. So it's coming off a little bit. So maybe come right on that one. Yeah. Goodies nicely. Okay. Any others? Is it Google coming right at all? Good old Google, 103.48. A little bit, slightly profitable. We'll go down to Nike or Nike. Where is it? 123.50. What we want to $1 per share in profit. Well, that's better than nothing. It's okay. Oracle, we got an 89.10. 87.60 is about $1.50 a share. It's over in profit. Tesla we'll look at, good idea. That's all we've got at the moment. Oracle, that's right. So we'll now look at Tesla. I think we've got enough out at the moment without getting too cute, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. There might be a possibility to look at Tesla tomorrow, but I don't see anything out there I'm looking for. All of them I'm looking to short, but depending on power, we could stuff the system up. But I just can't understand how that can happen with the indescribable government spend that's happened in the United States. Remember that they've got to lift, whether they bargain or not, they've got to lift the debt ceiling. Otherwise, the whole thing is going to collapse. So they've got to do that. It's just basically a ridiculous social spending. I know we all care, but it's not their money to spend, you know. A massive bureaucracy they've got, like most countries now. Heaving under the weight of paper shufflers who can't survive in the private sector. I know what I'm talking about. I used to, many years ago, I was engaged, she's an attorney, and she battled to make, she an attorney. She battled to handle the stress of the private sector, so she went to work for the government. Shame. Yeah, but I do see downside, but I think maybe just cool it a little bit. We've got quite a few out at the moment. Unless you particularly want to do it, I wouldn't be buying, I'd be selling it. Can we get a, if you want to, I'll put it up for you if you want, but don't you know, don't have everything out there and £2 in your account. 15 minutes, well, that's rubbish. Beg your pardon. Oh, hang on, I've got a 15-minute one, sorry. Yeah, it's technically not so great. It should be below the 200. Where is it now? Yeah, it's below the 200. So technically it's in the neutral zone. The 100 is just an additive later on in my trading career. But yeah, is above there, and it's not much happening yesterday or today. Maybe down there. Stop up here somewhere and take it down there. So maybe just wait for a break. I think hold 5 on Tesla for the moment. Get a break, then if it comes down there, we can catch it tomorrow. TP down there and a stop up there. Should be able to do it. Just hang 5 on that one. And if it's about a $15 stop, then you can go for a half a share if you want. If you can't afford the full $15 US. Okay, Henny, no problems. Are you agree with that, Super Should we leave it for the time being? For the moment, yeah, it looks bearish for the moment. I wouldn't be chasing it down now. I think to be honest, I think remember I mentioned to Eugene, get out of it there. Don't normally say that, but I said I'd be out of it. It looks like it was the right decision. You come off 70 pips, you're probably chappy on that exit. I still think, see if we can get back to the gap. If we get back down that area, we'll look at what the dollar's doing, maybe a great opportunity to buy it. We'll have a look then, but leave it alone for now. In my opinion, my strong suggestion. Okay, good enough. Right. Any questions, guys? Fiona's okay. Gladys, any questions? Anything you're not sure about? So you got my number. If anyone's got over 2.5, they want to be on the. They'll get the signals anyway, to be honest, because it's followed up. At least you get the update, daily updates. Daily updates, no, it doesn't really matter. Because I guarantee you've got 2.5 anyway. The system will know that, and you'll get the extra shares. Just the advantage of telling me, it means, it means it'll be put on my daily updates if they have any value to more the economic front, updates. NZDJPY. Is it? Okay, we'll do NZDJPY first. Yeah. I'm glad Zef's left because he's a bit negative on this bloody Japanese yen. Not negative selling, negative the strength the other way around. But yeah, it's in the sell zone, but I'm not so sure it's going to continue down. I think I quite like the NZD fundamentally. I think the Japanese yen at the moment, contrary to the government and the economy's wishes, a little bit on the stronger. I think they want a weaker one. Even though I see it in the sell area, but I think that supports a good strong chance of holding. So I'll be honest, I see some upside there as well. If you've got enough money in your account, you get quite a bit out. But I tend to go along with you on that, Mike. Thank you, okay. Well, pleasure. It's what I'm here for. To be honest, okay, not what to do with it. I quite enjoy it, to be honest. You know, not the money like that, whatever. It's just quite enjoy it. The guy, you know, does well out of it. It gives me a serious sort of mental hit. Can't afford the price of cocaine and heroin anymore, so it's pretty dangerous anyway. It's got to get you hit from somewhere to try and get out decent trade milk, you know. But thank you, pleasure. Nice to hear positive feedback. Anyway, back to this one. Don't want to catch a falling sword, guys. Before we jump in, let's have a look at the others. Is any buyers coming in? Not as yet. That's the only problem. So we don't want to catch a falling sword. So I do like the look of it, but I think rather wait till we get some sort of bottom, a bounce from some sort of bottom where we can take a confirmed break up. It's still falling, so I'm not sure we'll be jumping in just now, but I see the possibility. It might come down further to here, we don't know. So yeah, but I do like it, wait for you confirm. That's my take. Mike, are you happy with that? Or do you want to go in now? You may want to go in now, put the calculator up. I think you should wait. I've answered that. Makes sense. You have to wait. We could. How long do you think the GB? Right. I get that question asked a heck of a lot by people. My answer is always the same. I have no idea. I really mean this. If that goes up or down, I take a view as to the stop loss will be incorrect. Will it? How long will it take? Will it take a day to get back up there, or tomorrow it might take 2 days, or it might take a day to go shooting up there? Look at the difference in candles. Look at the size of that candle compared to that. This is a day chart. That's what it did in 1 day. Yeah, it did 60 pips. This particular day, or that's a fundamental day. That's an on-farms. That was. It did 450 pips in a day. So you get my point. So the market, once you're in the market, do what we'll do. I want to reiterate this. We can control what we can control. Position sizing, the knowledge, understanding economic fundamentals, doing the maths, knowing the specifications of it, that we can handle, that we can control. What the market does, we can't. So we've got to take a view. And that's why we have to have correct position sizing. However good, some could come along and stuff the system up. And it might not be your fault. You're not doing anything wrong. The trade was correct. You didn't know some Middle Eastern potentate was going to take a highly leveraged short on it when you're going long and move the market or something stupid like that. Or some news or a building burnt down or an earthquake in Turkey or whatever. That's out of your control. That's why I have your stop loss. So reiterate that. The market will do what the market does. It can go down, pop up. We just take a view on it. How long? No idea. Nobody does. When I say I do, I mean nobody does. Nobody's saying, Roger, no, I'll go and phone George. If he's honest, he'll say, I don't know. If he says it'll be a day, then I know he's not a trader, he was a BS. He won't know. Okay. Hope you're good. What was the other one you looked at there? Was happy on that one? My take on that one? Good. GBP JPY. You want to get another one out, do you? Okay, my friend, why not? GBP JPY. Always do quick, just check, because some got me wrong information. If you look at the daily chart, you might, like I did just say, look at the 15 is the wrong one. If you go to the day, if you haven't used that symbol for a while, you might have all the feed coming through. So quickly go over the 4 hour and then go back to the day, and the feed should have come through. So at least you're working on correct information. You want to resume, what do you want to do with this? Now it's risk and management. I thought ARM there. I thought you meant that you want to look to buy ARM as a share. Okay. And now it's risk management. There you are. Remember that ARM. You don't forget it. That's a good one. I like that actually. ARM. Think of a guy with a big muscle. ARM. Analysis and risk management. There you are. Very, very important. That's not very important. It's absolutely essential. Essential. Want to buy this? Japanese still a bit strong. The pound is still a bit on the weak side. If you want to sell it, what do you want to do with this? Hang on. I'm not sure I want to buy it. You think so? I don't agree. The pound is still a bit on the weak side. The Japanese were 108.1, but still fairly strong. We could get a profit-taking bounce, but you don't know the extent of that bounce. So you don't want to go long against that trend on a weaker currency by buying the weaker against a stronger one. And you just because of a profit-taking, because a profit-taking bounce might be 10 pips and it comes off. Might be 50, we don't know, but it's not worth the risk. You want to be looking really at selling it around about these levels or maybe a breakthrough. This is the moment I would stand aside on that. That's my take, my opinion, but it's not ready, not the 100%. You know what I'm saying? Got it. So, right, that's my opinion. What do you think? NJ, Zachariah, Mike, whoever's there, Fiona, Gladys, what do you think? Do you think this is a buy or a sell here? If you do, you've got to have a reason behind it, not because, you know, my mother's in England at the moment, she likes it so much. That's not good enough. Or I'm married to a Japanese guy and he's wonderful, so I think I'd like to buy a Japanese yen. No. Okay, you're new to it, you're learning. We all started. Don't forget we all started, no problem. So you wait for confirmation. You'll pick it up as you go along. And even if you don't know that, you always make a comment. You think, well, hang on, I missed that. Thanks very much. Young dogs can teach old dogs new tricks. Don't care what they say. And the more you ask, the more you get the idea. You know? And if you get confused, just say, and then you might have to go back to classes. But if I can handle it in a minute or two, not a problem. You're going to take longer. I can't hold the class up. You'd have to go to classes. Yeah, same sort of idea, yeah. But I prefer the NZD over the GBP. If they're both the same position, I would buy the NZD, but I wouldn't be doing the buy on this one. I think the NZD is stronger than the yen, certainly stronger than the pound. Did we on Euro GBP? No, we didn't. Well, I was doing mine on the day. We'll look at that in a minute. And I would be selling the euro at the moment against the pound. The pound's got a few problems, to tell you right now. And then clearly it's backed up by the buyers and sellers. You can see the buyers in control because it's in the buying zone. It's come back and tested support. If anything's like to happen here, it'll probably move up from here. I won't be selling it. Oh, God. Bloody load shedding really is a pain. Okay, yeah, if I was going to do anything with this, I'm not going to do it at the moment, but I'm going to go buy. Why do I want to do it at the moment if I think it's a good buy? It's because it could come back here, number one. And number two, as it came off, a few set buyers came in. Again, more to the point, when it went up, quite a few sellers came in, which I don't like the look of. So go to the 4-hour, it's not getting follow through, getting nervy. See what I mean? The sellers coming in, it's making me nervous. The weekly, same point. So hourly, get the idea. So there's more reason to stay aside than go in. If you're in profit, I'm happy, but I wouldn't be going in now. That's my take. That's my opinion. I've given it. Well, it's not really. That really hasn't really sort of completely engulfed that. But people get too carried away with bearing engulfing candles. That's just if it's in the sell zone down here. Clearly, the euro's weaker than the pound. Free argument, it's not. But let's say it was down there when it came off, and you had a bearish engulfing candle as a confirmation going, yeah. But the bear engulfing candle is just a confirmation to go in. But you're now going in against the powerful trend and you're buying a weaker and you're selling the stronger currency. So don't worry about that candle formation. Do you understand what I mean? It's a confirmation when the other ticks in the right place. It's not a confirmation to buy. And I'll stop the buy. I'm just selling because of that candle formation. No, it's just all a confirmation is see what the buy and seller are doing for confirmation to get in, not for a change of trend like that. And a lot of people ask that, and a lot of people don't know that, and I don't blame you. A lot of guys are taught on that, and have haven't done many favors, put it that way. So yeah, no. I hope you understand what I mean. Thank you. Okay, how's our Schwab friend doing? Slightly better price, but still holding a $50 50-day moving average. So keep your fingers crossed. Another one, cycle. It's all psychology this game, especially you're starting. Rather completely understandable when you enter. You think it's immediately going to go your way. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. You start panicking as a change of trend. No, it's just the noise. You cannot time the market. It's impossible. You might get it lucky once, but then again, you might win the lottery. You know what I'm saying? But you have the view. You got the stop up there above. There's a reason why it's above these guys here. And so if it pops up a little bit, we don't know. It might pop down and then pop back up. It'll do its noise. You got your strategy. You got your risk. Let it run. You get stopped out. go on to the next one. That's the way to look at it. Easier said than done. It's hovering round about entry. It's not doing much, as you can see on the 15-minute, popping up and down, popping down then up. But it's holding. I think you find Brent, because it will be affected, because it's affected by the dollar price, will be affected what's coming up just now in a couple of hours' time. So it probably will be a bit sideways. Bear that in mind. The others are doing it okay-ish. So we'll see how that works out. Quick check of the AUD, Euro AUD, those ones we had. Euro AUD. Euro Japanese yen. Put it down the wrong one. Sig's changing that. Better. Euro AUD. Euro JPY, so it's correct. I've got it down there. 142.22. No, it's coming up a complete disaster, this one. No, it's a disaster. So that's why I say it's not always wise to move your stop. I thought that would hold. Looks like it's not holding. Don't know why that's happening. Yeah, that looks like it's a total disaster, isn't it? And what was the other one? It was the AUD JPY, was it? AUD JPY. That was the pending one, that's right. Pending by at 91. It's about the same as it was before. What was it? EUR. Ah, here we are, on the wrong paper. EUR AUD. That's about the same, just still in it. AUD NZD. 1966, what was that, a sell? 0966, slightly negative, we'll see if that holds. Oh, so pretty actually, can't think, maybe I should have looked at them. Let it run anyway, see how they work out. But the AUD is a total disaster, by the look at it. Or Euro, sorry, Euro Japanese yen I'm talking about. It's like a complete cock up, that one. Has it stopped out yet? Not quite for the guys who ended late 170. The guys who modified it, there's a good example why not to do it. Pity. So those who didn't modify, paying or not, the others did. Widened the stop, didn't want to get knocked out. Be careful of that. That's a very good point, Barney. That's exactly what the market's thinking. They're thinking he's going to stick with because he's been for a while. I should suddenly change now. And they're probably thinking, well, it's been a far higher jobs report. It had been fairly inflationary. So we might discuss maybe 0.5%, things like that. That's what they're thinking. So as a result, on that basis, they're trading the DXY upwards. Yeah, quite right. So EUR AUD is about the same. Don't go into now, leave it. This one's a second disaster. Okay, guys, this is anything else. I think we just wind it up a little bit now. I think we cover what we need to cover. I don't think we should get cute with anything at the moment. See what he's got to say and just hope it's going to be happy days later on. Okay. Because if he is hawkish, the dollar should go up and then you'll find the shares, S&P, and that should come off. That's the theory anyway. You good with that? All good? Okay, guys, thanks, NK, Fiona. All right, then we'll wrap it up. Unless there's something else, of course, and ask, please, and we'll do it. Yeah. But if that's a lot, well, say sayonara and catch you tomorrow morning. Well, we did the revenge trade. Oh, shit. There we are. Maybe it's not a habit to do them. Whatever. Sometimes it is. Who knows? There's no afternoon session tomorrow. Normally there is. It just, nobody some dance. When you're getting older, my age, not something you want, but I'll take the day off anyway. So I'm doing the morning session, and then I'm knocking off and I'm going out for a lunch to be quite honest. So yeah. So what do you think of buying the euro-dollar? I agree. Yeah, fine. I think put everything on it. It's guaranteed. Careful. Yeah, tomorrow morning and then Friday morning. I'm not doing tomorrow afternoon, and we don't do Friday afternoon session. The only time we'll do a Friday afternoon session is if the people are interested, we'll do another 3 o'clock show on the 3rd of March because of non-farm. But we can chat about the CPI if it comes out in the meantime. Okay. So tomorrow morning. Good enough. Okay, on Tommy. Good stuff. Catch you then. Cheers.